Well, hello all. Fingers crossed we're all up and running. You may have seen us doing a few bits and pieces throughout the week. We've been trying to work on that slight delay that we've been having. So hopefully we're going to be connected to Facebook and YouTube. Maisie's just decided she's going to join me up here. So we'll have to see what happens. Look, my hair's gone all funny. Got caught out in that weather again today. And it's not happy. Oh well. So Maisie's joining us in here now. Could be entertaining. She's full of it this evening. So how's everybody's week been? It's been a bit of a chaotic week here. Don't know about anywhere else. I don't know where the week's gone. I even went into the post today, and I always go in and go for do my lottery on a Monday night. And the young lad that's in there said to me, "Don't you want lottery tonight?" I went, "Oh, I forgot it was Monday." It's just been a crazy. I was still prepping for TV last night at midnight. That's how my week's been, on a Sunday night prepping for TV. That's bonkers. So I see that Facebook is working. Maisie's found something to eat that she shouldn't have. Oh, it's all right. It's a piece of card. She can manage that. Good evening, Jules. Your goodies are on their way. You found them. I think you were one of the first to find them this time. It's a bit mad, isn't it? Right, so we're almost at 7 o'clock, so we will wait till 7 and see how everybody that's coming in. Hi, Pat. Lots of you showing up today. Lovely. Oh, had a rough day of you, Amanda. I know the feeling. Evening, Amanda. Evening, Tina. Hope everybody's all right. I've had a day a bit like that today. I didn't plan on it being a crazy day today, but it's just been a bit bonkers. I thought if I stayed up and late last night and worked and did all the prep work, that I would hopefully have had quite a chill day today, but it just didn't happen. I was a bit lazy and didn't get out of bed quite as early as I probably should have done. Hope you're well. Got my parcel with the... I'm glad you got your parcel, Linda. Now we've got another new release. Hi, Lynn. I see you found them as well. Evening, Veronica. A few of you found them early. I sneaked them on quietly yesterday morning. We sneaked them on just so it was a job done. Evening, Karen. Evening, Jules is there. I've already said hello. Evening, Candice. Amanda. Ofsted, that's just horrendous. My cousin's a teacher, and the pressure that comes on is just ridiculous. Evening, Tina. Evening, Janice. Evening, Dawn. Right, so there's lots of you coming in here. I have no idea what Maisie's up to. Maisie, no! Bear with me, peoples. Martin or Mum, if one of you are watching, it would be lovely if one of you could just pop and sort Maisie out. Thank you. It might be easier if it's Martin that comes and does it. Maisie, no! No. Good girl. See, she's so naughty. Evening, Di. Hi, Liz. Mum, if you're watching, just ring Martin and ask him to come over, please. Because I don't know if he's watching now. Right, newbies. So we have 5 new stamps, 4 new stencils. 3 of them are stencils and one of them is a stencil and a mask. Maisie! Bear with me, everybody. She's stopped now. That's a relief. Hi, Debbie. I think you sneaked in. Hi, Liz. You're not that late, Liz. We haven't started yet. And Tina. Hello. All well here. Hope's good with you. Janice. Right, so we have the 3 new stamps. 3 9.99 stamps. So we've got floral circles. Now this one comes with little sentiments that fit in to this section here. So this one says, with love, just for you, just because you are in our thoughts, and thank you. And all of those fit in that little bit there, which is great. Evening, Carol. Hope you're keeping well. Secondly, we have Forever Flowers. That is 3 sets of flowers, all the 3 different sizes, and the 3 foliage, again, the 3 different sizes to match up. Then we have Mystical Bouquet. I have a feeling this is going to be the biggest selling one because you've all been jumping on this one today. So can you notice there's a bit of a circle theme going? I love circles. I do so much with them. So again, just a little arrangement. And again, some of the sentiments from our floral circle also fit in here really nicely as well. So it all works together. Hi Trish, hi Kirsty. Then we go on to our $14.99 sets. So this one is called Never Ending Foliage. So obviously you've got your wreath in here. And on here we've got Thinking of You, and then I've done Happy Birthday and Wishes. So you can do them separately. So you can do birthday wishes, you can do happy birthday, you can do happy birthday wishes. So you can do whatever you want in there. And then wishing you a day wrapped in happiness and just wanted to say hello. So it kind of covers lots of different things again. Glad you like them, Kirsty. Glad you do too, Liz. Hi, Catherine. Hopefully you've received your pre-order, Catherine. Can you just let me know that you have? No, pre-order. Yeah, you pre-ordered from the show, not these ones. So then we have the vintage wreath. And for this vintage wreath, we have got Just For You. Thank you very much. You are on your special day, sending birthday wishes and happy birthday to you. So it covers all sorts of occasions. But also this one would be really good. You could colour it in reds and greens. It'd be a great Christmas wreath as well. So that's all the stamps. Then we're going to go on to our stencils. So first off we have, I'm glad it's got there, Catherine, a squares and rectangles stencil. So it is what it is, it says on the tin. It's squares, rectangles and all the other shapes that are made up from it. Then we have our quilted stencil. I've had so much fun playing with this. You can imagine all the little dots, filling them in. Could get very time consuming but fun. And then we have Flame. Fab, quick, easy card to make this with this one. Looks amazing if you put it through your embossing folder. Everything about it is fab. One of the demos I've done for TV is through an embossing folder. It's literally this, through an embossing folder, a little bit of ink on the top and a sentiment. Great men's card, great teenage boys card, or anybody else in between. But that's just one of the demos I've done with that. And last but not least, we have our wreath crest stencil and mask. So you've got the negative and the positive. It's moved a little bit in this one, so but I think you get the idea. So they are all the newbies. So I am going to now show you all the bits and pieces the design team have done for us. Bless them, I put the pressure on like I don't know what this time because they only had about 10 days to turn these around. So I apologise, ladies. I know I put the pressure on big time. So first off, we're going to start with our, which one should we go with? Floor circles. So this, a lot of them are a mix and match. They've got highlighting, they've got the stencils and the stamps mixed in together, which is exactly what they're meant to be for. So bear with us on that. So we have, this is the fabulous Flame stencil and the fab floral circles, and then you've got your sentiments that fit in the centre there. So this is great. It could fit a 4x4 card, it could fit a 6x6 card, it could fit an 8x8 card. It covers all the different sizes. And that has been coloured with bundled sage and zig pens on the flower with clear embossing powder. And this was done by Helen. The next one has been done by Carol, and it's using the Flame stencil, floral circles and distress oxides in salvage patina and seedless preserve. See, so this is probably a 7, might be a 6x6, might be a 7x7 card. I'm not 100% sure. I can't even measure it because all my bags and everything are packed ready for telling. Thank you all for your lovely comments. I'm glad you like them all. So next we have another one from Carol, using the quilted stencil, floral circles, distress oxide, salvage patina and kitsch flamingo this time. So again, and this one's got gems in every single little dot. That's what I mean, you could get really carried away. Next is from Hazel, and she's used floral circles stamped in Versamark ink, Honeydew Crafts white embossing powder, and the same with the sentiment. So that's literally just been stamped out. 5x5 card, I would say this is. But a really cute little card. You don't need to do anything else to it. It's all done for you. Really easy to use, that one. Another really dinky little one. This one is from, again, from Hazel. She's used floral circles, and the sentiment is also floral circles stamped with black memento ink and coloured with Copic pens. The quilted stencil has been coloured with rose petals. Excuse me. So again, another dinky little card. I would say that is probably a 4x4. Let's have a look. 1, 2, yeah, I'd say about a 4-inch card. So that's what I mean. You can go with exactly the same card, same stamp, but we've got a 4-inch and probably might be a 4.5 or a 5-inch actually, and an 8x8. 5-inch probably. So. And last but not least, this one has been done by Karen, and she's used floral circles, and the sentiment she's used on here is from Mini Sentiments, which is one of our much older sets, but still works. The stencils, quilted stencils. She's used a silver gel pen, acrylic paint pen, and coloured with soft pencils and liquid pearls. So there we go. I need to bring that one down a bit, don't I? Because it's an A5 card. So she's coloured in the circle here in white, which makes that flower really pop. She's popped on some pearls on there, and then she's put some liquid pearls in between. Just kind of ties in these circles. But again, you could get so carried away with this one and all the little extra dots. So that's all the samples for our floral circles. Then we are on to mystical flowers. So another one from Karen, and she's used pencils to colour this in and highlighted with a gold pen. So as you can see, she's used one full image. She's actually cut some extra pieces out and decoupaged these up very slightly, just 1 or 2 layers, but not huge depth to them, but looks beautiful. And like a motley bluey grey kind of coloured cardstock behind, looks fab. Gone over with some gold pens again just to make those pop a little bit. Looks really clever. Next is from Hazel, using Mystical Bouquet and the quilted stencil, and the sentiment is from our Relatively Little Words stamp set. Sorry, dropped that one. And she's stamped and embossed this in silver embossing powder. So hopefully we can catch the light on it. It's not going to catch it, but you'll get the idea. It's got a silver embossing powder on there. Really subtle card, that one, but really, again, really pretty, layered with a silver matte mirror card there. Another one from Hazel, using Mystical Bouquet, and the sentiment for this one is from Poppy Bouquet. Again, really simple card, but so effective. I love these cards that have got lots of white space on them. I'm not always as good at doing those as I want to be. Next we have one from Carol, and she's used a squares and rectangle stencil, mystical bouquet, floral circles, sentiment, and coloured with distress oxides in cracked pistachio, seedless preserve, and chipped sapphire. So I would say it's slightly bigger than a 6x6. I'd say it's a 7x4. It's not a 6x4. Yeah, it'd be a 7. Might even be a 7x5. We have an amazing little team, Kirsty. There's only 4 of us. One might not be hanging around for much longer because she's going to have her hands very full. And I don't know if she's declared everything yet, so we'll keep that stum. But hopefully, everybody's worked so hard for us. I don't know. They're just amazing. They do such a good job for us, and I can't thank them enough. Another one from Carol, again using the quilted stencil, Mystical Flowers. Sentiment is from Floral Circles and Distress Oxides in milled lavender, peel paint, and picked raspberry. There we go. Really, really lovely card. Again, so simple but so effective. And then last but not least on this one, we have got one from Helen, and she's coloured with lumberjack plaid and peeled paint. And she's used the Mystical Flowers and the Squares and Rectangles stencil. Oh. I don't know if this has maybe zoomed itself in a little bit, and that's why we're not managing to get the whole card in the screen. There we go, it's a little bit better. Again, fabulous card, and the sentiment on there is from our vintage wreath. So on your special day, she's popped on there. So we've got a few here for our Forever Flowers set. Sorry, I whipped them out of the way quick, didn't I? That'll throw a spanner in the works. So Karen's done a little book for us, which you could put little pictures in there, or she's just done little backgrounds with our wreath, our leaf stencil from our last release, and just done a piece of, I suppose you could put little sentiments. If you're religious, you could put script in there. You could do all sorts. So we've got with love, just because. So these are all the little sentiments from the other stamp set. Just for you. Again, another little piece of card in there using the Squares and Rectangles stencil. Another one with love, same thing. Just these tiny little, you could put pictures in and all sorts in there, couldn't you? Just because, just for you, with love, and she's stamped with Forever Flowers. She's used all sorts: the flourish, the leaf, the Squares and Rectangles frame, and quilted stencil, acrylic paint pens, Versacraft, ash rose, and sparkling crystal embossing powder on the top here. So a really cute little book. I'd say that's probably about 2.5 inches, maybe a 3-inch book. It would be good for Valentine's Day, Kirsty, you are correct. And then a lovely bow to tie it all together, which I'm going to do now so that I don't lose the bits out of it. Then we shall move on to the other cards we've got. This one's from Carol. She's used Squares and Rectangles stencil, Forever Flowers, Vintage Wreath Sentiment, and coloured with Distress Oxides in Salvage Patina and Kitsch Flamingo, and Distress Watercolour Pencils in Salvage Patina, Kitsch Flamingo, and Picked Raspberry. So again, she's decoupaged these flowers up a little bit so that you do get the little stamens that are on there, and then she's popped some decoupage glue on there to stand those up. Lovely card. And Carol that never lets me down. Look, she's done a bit on the inside. Oh, I hope you're not driving, Carol. Your goodies have left the building today. Then we have another one from Hazel, and she's used Forever Flowers, and the sentiment is from Maisie Mouse. Just a little note to say. So she's just popped a little piece of, I don't know if that's cardstock, or yeah, a little piece of cardstock down the side of the edge, stamped the flowers out in green, and just a little note to say that would make an ideal thank you card or anything like that. Just a real Simple, easy, quick card. Hopefully everybody gets their kids to say thank you cards out after Christmas. So this one is also from Hazel, and she's used Forever Flowers, and the sentiment is from Floral Silhouette. So she's stamped it out loads and just coloured them in. And she stamped out in a grey ink for the sentiment, which is perfect. Then we have one from Karen. She's used the Leaf Crest stencil, Forever Flowers, Golden Embossing Powder, and Colour Soft pencils. So she's used the leaf in the background here, and then she's stamped the flowers. Some are onto acetate, some are onto vellum, and some are onto cardstock. So there's lots of different things going on. And the sentiment on that one is also from Vintage Wreath, on your special day. I think that's lovely. And then last but not least, we've got one from Helen, and she's coloured with Lumberjack Plaid on this one. Quite a clean, simple card. She's used the rectangles and squares and rectangles stencil here, and then she's made, they're almost like bookmarks. If you could manage to get those off afterwards, they'd make great bookmarks. So again, really clean, simple card, but lovely. So now we are on to our Never Ending Foliage. So this one is from Karen, and it's Never Ending Foliage, and she's used VersaCraft ink and Liquid Pearls, Brass and White Opal. There we go, oh, a bit close. So she's added in like almost like some berries on here, so she's put some little dots of liquid pearls on there, and then she's done some splish splash paints around the edge. Really simple, but again really effective. Then we have one from Hazel, Never Ending Foliage, used gold embossing powder, and the sentiment is from Vintage Wreath. Just stamped onto burgundy cardstock, and that's all you needed to do. Make a really nice birthday card, or you could do it for any occasion with on your special day, couldn't you? It doesn't have to be for anything particular, but a really classy card. And what was I going to say last but not least, but it's not. We've got one more after this. So this one's done by Carol. She's used our Leaf Crest Stencil and Mask, Never Ending Foliage, Distress Oxides in Rustic Wilderness, and Distress Watercolour Pencils in Rustic Wilderness, Peel to Paint, and Fossilised Amber. So like myself, Carol likes to do these cards that have a bit of movement in them. So she's popped the stencil and mask in the background on here to fill the little side up. She's used the wreath in the middle here, and then she's just used parts of the wreath on the edge, which works really well. And bless them, as I say, thank you, Catherine. They are an amazing little team. As I've said, they only had about 10 days to turn these around, so I can't thank them enough. And last but not least, this one is from Hazel, Never Ending Foliage, and the sentiment is actually from our Christmas letters stamp set, and she's also used a tartan stencil on here as well in the background. You probably won't pick up the tartan on here, but there's our fabulous card with a wreath. She's popped on some berries, some gems on for berries, and the tartan has been put on the background here, and it might just pick it up on camera. And she has coloured with Copic markers, and she's used Memento grey flannel to stamp that the wreath out with. Oh, I'm glad you're having a go at them, Kirsty. And then last but not least, with the stamps, we have then got a few samples with the stencils, just predominantly stencils. So we've got the Vintage Flowers first, and this one is from Hazel. Vintage Flowers, Vintage Wreath. I'm going to fall into that trap, aren't I? You all know it. Bear with me. I've got something that's tickling my throat, and it's going to start me coughing. Sorry about that. So Vintage Wreath, we've got silver embossing powder, and the sentiment is also from Vintage Wreath. Stamped onto navy blue card with silver embossing powder is one of my favourites. I love doing that. So again, you could make this into a Christmas wreath, and you could send that as is, as a Christmas card, just change the sentiment. Be brilliant for that. Another one from Hazel, and again Vintage Wreath, coloured with Copic markers. There we go. Again, another dinky little card. So although it's one of our larger stamp sets, I'll just grab it so you can see. It's one of the larger stamp sets. It still fits on one of the smaller cards. So this would be a 5x5 card. Just double check that. Yeah, a 5x5 card, and that would go through as a normal post. If you don't put any dimension on there, which Hazel hasn't, it would be perfect. Just coloured in with Copic markers, and you could colour that to any colour theme you wanted. This one is from Karen, using Vintage Wreath and squares and rectangle stencil and intensive pencils, liquid pearls brass, and gold gel pen on here as well. Lots going on. So she's used the stencil in the background with some circles, got our sentiment on here. She's also used a gold gel pen just going in some of these little squares here and rectangles as well, and liquid pearls all over here to just add some texture to it. Go for it, Susan. Get what you want that way, don't you? Now, I'm not sure how well this is going to show up on camera, but we'll give it a go. It's white embossing powder onto pearl card. I think it's a special type of pearl card, but I'm not really sure what that's reading. I think it just says pearlized. Yeah, pearlized card. Vintage Wreath again. Now, does show up kind of. I'm trying to catch so that it doesn't bounce the light. There we go. It is so effective. I love white on white. So that's what she's done. White embossing powder onto. It's a slightly off-white. It looks silver on camera, but it's a slightly off-white, almost winter white card. On camera it does look silver, and it's not. So that one is from Helen. And then last but not least with this one, we've got one from Carol. She's used Leaf Crest, Stencil and Mask, Vintage Wreath, Distress Oxide, Rustic Wilderness, Watercolour Pencils, Rustic Wilderness, Festive Berries, Wild Honey and Fossilised Amber. Again, really lovely bright colours. And she's actually just used the base of the floral wreath here on floral wreath, she's used the whole thing. Leaf Crest, she's just used the base of the wreath, the mask section, so it looks really effective. Right, so now onto some stencils. So we will start with the quilted and move on from there. Right, first off is from Helen, and it's been coloured with Blueprint Sketch. Do you know, this is a colour I don't often use, but when I see this, I love it. And it's a really simple card, but so effective. I would say that's a C6 card. Yeah, I thought so. C6 card. And the sentiment is from Vintage Wreath. So simple, but so effective. And then the next one is from Hazel, and she has coloured with a selection of inks, and she's used the sentiment from Floral Arrangements. Oh, you're getting a sneak peek in there, look. Okay, we're a bit close on camera, sorry. So she's just literally done the quilted. She looks like she's die cut a square of her own stash there and just layered that up. Again, really, really effective. You don't have to use that whole stencil. Just because it's a 6x6, 7x7, 8x8 stencil, you don't have to use the whole thing. And then we have got a quilted stencil, and the sentiment is from Infinity. She has used our berry bunch die. If you have it, you can use it, but we no longer have it. It has been retired. But it's really effective. It's rainbow colours. She's rounded off the corners here. She's popped that on there. That's all she did. That's all you have to do to this. The work's done there for you. And then you've got your birthday wishes sentiment on there, which is from Infinity. It's all very quiet on here. You must be mesmerised. And then last but not least, another one from Hazel, and she has used the sentiment from Just Add Cake on this one. Again, quilted sentiment, quilted stencil, and she's got used some of her own dies for the hearts on here. Again, really simple card to make, but really effective. So that's the quilted. We will, again, as I said, we haven't got masses of the stencils on there individually, but we have got them. So this one is by Hazel, and sentiment on this one is from Single Lily, and it's the leaf crest stencil and mask that she's used on here. I love the colour choice. I think it's really, really effective. And just because it's a leaf, it doesn't mean it has to be leaf colours. My demo on TV isn't going to be leaf colours. It's pink, I think, if I remember rightly. Actually, I think quite a lot of my demos are pink this time. This one again is another one from Hazel. She's used the leaf crest stencil and mask, and she's embossed it through her embossing machine. This is fab when it's embossed. I was trying to do some bits with it embossed, but ran out of time to get those ones prepped for TV. So watch this space, they will be coming. And the sentiment on this one is from Changing Blooms, and it says happy birthday to someone very special. Now I am going to try and come in so that you can see this embossed, and you see how that is embossed, and she's just wiped over with blended ink afterwards. So where it's embossed, it's standing looking slightly darker. I know, Amanda, back to my favourite colour. It's not, do you know, if somebody asked me what my favourite colour was, I'd tell you it was actually navy blue. But when I'm card making, it probably is pink. So now we've got a couple using the rectangles, squares and rectangles stencil, and the sentiment on this one is from Trading Thoughts, and it's been embossed with Versamark ink and silver embossing powder, and again she's used that Berry Bunch die. So she's literally gone through the stencil with a Versamark ink, and then removed the stencil and then put the embossing powder over the top and heated it. A really effective way of getting a shiny metallic card. If you haven't got an embossing, if you haven't got mirror card, it's a great way of doing it. Another one by Hazel, squares and rectangles, and the sentiment for this one is from Shining Star. She must have gone through all the sentiments in the book. So she's actually used that square or rectangle that comes with the Shining Star stamp set that fits those birthdays in, and I just love this happy birthday to you. It's one of my favourite that I've ever done, but a really, really bright, fun card. Could use that for absolutely anybody. And then finally we have 3 more cards to share with you, and this is from our Flame stencil. This one's from Carol. She's used Vintage Wreath Sentiment. She's used Distress ink in Black Soot, Distress Oxide, Pumice Stone, Candied Apple, and Fossilized Amber, Distress Oxide Sprays, Fossilized Amber, Barn Door, and Pumice Stone, and Distress Spritz, Fossilized Amber, Walnut Stain, Barn Door, and Peeled Paint. Blimey. There's a lot going on here. Oh, I didn't realise there was lots of adverts on there, Lynn. I'll have to have a look at that. So you can see the shimmer from the spritz that's on there, but it's lots of different colours. I think for YouTube it's probably better to be watching it on like recorded, so watch it back afterwards if you want to watch it on YouTube, I think. So she's used the Black Soot ink through the stencil, and then 2 more to go. This one, both are by Hazel, and she used the sentiment on this one is from Maisie Mouse, and it's that Just a Note one again, and I love how bright and colourful this one is. So we've got just a note to say, And again, she hasn't used the full stencil. She's done it and cut out a section, and I would say this was a 5x5 card. So again, note if you don't put any embellishment on it, so it's all flat one level, it will go through the post as a standard letter. Bear that in mind. And last but not least, this one is done again by Hazel, and she's used Sentiment from Changing Blooms again. I love this one. So she's done the stencil and then she's obviously cut it out and reversed it. So we've got top and bottom. Let me grab the stencil so I can show you what I mean. So we've got the stencil, and so you can see it's kind of, she's taken it, cut it in half. Oh no, she hasn't cut it in half, she's done it on one piece, but she's just used top and bottom, so she's reversed it. See me, I would have done it one piece, cut it in half. Hazel knows what she's doing. I would have made my life a lot more difficult than it needed to be. But again, so effective. I just love that colour combination. You just have to close your eyes, Margaret, up to the adverts. So that's all of the samples from our amazing little design team. So we will just quickly flick back through all the new stamps and stencils for those of you that missed it. So we will start with our circles our floral circles. They are fab cards. Thank you, Carol. And we've got with love, just because, just for you, you are in our thoughts, and thank you on there. Then we have our mystical flowers, so we've got mystical bouquet. So we've got the circles again going on, and I just love this. A clean, simple white card with this on would be perfect. And some of those little sentiments on the floral circles will fit into your mystical bouquet. All right. And then our flowers that you all know and love. So again, you get it with the 3 sizes and the 3 sizes of foliage, and you've got some left and right foliage on there as well. Then we have our 2 larger sets. So you've got Vintage Wreath, which says, just for you, thank you very much on your special day, sending birthday wishes and happy birthday to you on there. Again, just by changing the colours that you colour this in with, you completely change the occasion that you can send it for. So you could do it in reds and greens or for Christmas. I've actually, my demo I believe on this one is stamped in and embossed in gold and pink and green coloured in. So we'll see. Or red and green coloured in, I can't remember. And then Never Ending Foliage. I've remembered mistletoe, Amanda. I will do my best. Never Ending Foliage. Thinking of you, happy wishes birthday. So you can do happy birthday wishes or just happy birthday or birthday wishes. And then wishing you a day wrapped in happiness and just wanted to say hello. That's all the stamps. And then stencils. We have our Stencil and Mask Leaf Crest. Unfortunately, that's moved around within the packaging, so I don't want to open the packaging to straighten it. Susan, no, we haven't got masses of stock because the TV decided to ask us on Tuesday of last week if they could have some more stock. So we are very limited on our stock. We have contacted our manufacturers and they're going to try and rush us through some, but we can't. We have no clue what's going to happen at the minute. So we've got Flame Stencil, which again you saw a few minutes ago. Then we have our Quilted Stencil. And last but not least, our Squares and Rectangles Stencil. Hi Brenda. So that is all of the stencils and all of the new stamps. Now you get me. Sorry you got my hand as well. I hit it with the wrong hand. I always do that. I always go right for the camera, thinking I'm avoiding it and don't avoid it. That would be lovely, Amanda, if we have lots of sellouts. It always is. It's more fun doing the shows when they sell out, obviously, because it's a bit of a buzz going in the studio because they're all panicking and I just laugh at them. And I panic slowly under the counter. I'm like a swan, apparently. It would be lovely to do that, and fingers crossed we'll be able to get more stock in before Christmas. But as I said, we have had to supply some extra stock to the TV. So please bear with us if we are a little late getting the orders out. I will do my best to get them out as quick as possible, and we will do our very best to contact you all if any of them are delayed. I'm not sure if we'll be back before Christmas. I think we'll probably do one short live before Christmas, but I can't give you the date yet. My lights must have moved because they're bouncing right in my eyes tonight. So bear with us. I will post on Facebook and YouTube and in our newsletters when we will be next on Facebook. I would imagine it might be beginning of or end of like next Thursday, maybe a week Thursday. But bear with us. Keep an eye on Facebook and YouTube. We'll do a last minute demo for you for something to fill in if you've forgotten a present or if you've just got a little something to give somebody. I'll come up with something for that. So those of you that can't make us for then, thank you very much, all of you, for all of your support this year. It's been amazing. It's been a funny old year for all of us. Fingers crossed next year will be a good one for everybody. So if you don't join us before Christmas, or if we don't manage to get here before Christmas, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to you all. And if you do join us and we do manage to get back, I'll be saying it all again on the next one. So have a lovely evening, and we will see you all soon. Don't forget to join me tomorrow, Hobby Maker. We are on at 2 o'clock and 6 o'clock. First off, I believe it's with Shirley, and second, and in the evening, I believe it's with Safe Pair of Hands and fingers crossed.